What's up, guys? Ghoul here, the worst Viper main on YouTube, back with another Viper Valorant video, but this one's about Viper's upcoming buffs as introduced in the 2.0 patch notes. Let's speculate. Viper's buffs have already been foreshadowed in Valorant's 2.0 patch notes, where they say they are working on changes for Viper to make her a more effective pick. In the patch notes, they never specify what they're looking to specifically change about Viper's kit. And that's what led me to moving on and making this video, is that I was looking for a place to speculate, as I always do, about what could be changed about her kit to make her more effective. And I'm excited to share all the buffs with you all. Let's do it. Let's start with my favorite Viper skill, Snakebite. The possible Snakebite buffs are faster pullout/put away animation, more DPS, or more consistency in terms of no random bounces. Now, while all of these are possible buffs, I think the consistency is all we can hope for if a Snakebite buff is coming. Next up, we have Viper Wall. Some of the possible buffs coming to Viper Wall are nearsighted, a thicker wall, faster decay, and the ability to redeploy it with some kind of 30-second or other amount of wait time between redeployment. I think that there's no chance that Viper Wall gains nearsighted. I only included that because I think the idea would make Viper extremely OP, and I think that's awesome. But I think it's more likely that she gets the ability to redeploy her wall with some kind of delay for redeployment, because I think that would really change Viper in her ability to be useful across the entire map, and not punish her as much for committing to a certain area. Next, we have Smoke Orb. And Smoke Orb, the only significant buff I could think that they could give to Smoke Orb is the ability to recall it from anywhere on the map with some kind of delay in between using it, slightly longer than the current one if you recall it as opposed to picking it up at the spot. And I think that should come to Viper, given that Killjoy and Cypher both can recall most of their useful utility from anywhere on the map. And I think I would actually be quite surprised if this wasn't one of the things that they're working on in terms of what they're adjusting with Viper. Finally, we have everyone's favorite round clutcher, Viper's Pit. There's two possible changes and buffs I could see that them doing to Viper Pit. The first one would be less ult charges required for the ultimate. I think that a reduction would fit the current meta in terms of like the power Viper's ultimate does provide. It seems to be very situational, and there's many ultimates that require less ult charges that provide way more consistent utility to their teams. And lastly, reduced footstep audio inside Viper's Pit. Now this sounds strange, but hear me out. What if inside Viper's Pit, the Viper has absolute advantage? And with that, I just mean she already has the advantage of the reduced vision inside the pit and the advantage of the decay. But what if she also had maybe a 50% reduction in footstep audio while she's in the pit? I think this small detail added in with the rest of the kit that she's already got, and maybe another minor additional buff, could make Viper a really, really interesting round clutcher and just insanely fun to play. And as a Viper main, I would really, really love to see reduced footstep audio in Viper's Pit. With the way the professional meta is currently developing, and the way that Viper's currently seeing high pick rates on certain maps, specifically Icebox, at the professional level, do you think that we'll still see the buffs that they're claiming to bring? Because I think that Viper definitely needs the buffs when we're looking at her from a regular competitive setting, like in the competitive mode in Valorant itself. But at the upper level, at the pro level, it almost feels like Viper's already in a very healthy place. Now that's coming from me as someone that mains Viper and does want her to be buffed because I play her and I want to play a better character, just like everyone else that mains Viper. But I am worried that they're going to be influenced in the way that the professional meta is being developed and dissuaded from touching anything too strong when it's relating to Viper. Viper's always had a very lurky role in the meta in terms of the fact that she's never really had a mid or high tier outlook ever in the history of Valorant. So I think that it would be really interesting and really exciting to see Viper receive some buffs, and maybe she does get a little bit of time to shine at the top of the meta. If you're still watching me ramble about Viper buffs, please like this video, and subscribe to me for more Viper content. I have something cool coming soon for Viper. Just like the last video, I'm trying to expand upon the limits of Viper tech and, push the character to new heights in the meta. And I think that if you are interested in Viper, as you seem to be if you're still watching this video, you'll find the Viper tech useful, and maybe you can even implement it into your Viper gameplay. So thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.